Welcome to the stream. I am your host and Dungeon Master Camille, and today we are continuing with our 7th session of the short campaign of The First Dawn. There is going to be a bit of a time jump, but we are going to start at the very end of the last session. Who would like to give the in-character recap of last session? I'll call on y'all.
I could try it.
Why don't you try
it? Gather around. Let me tell you a tale. That is not singing. Okay. Okay. So, a lot happened. Madrian had a vision. Let's see. It was like a 10-year skip, right? It is a 10-year skip. Madrian went home to convince and found himself met with his daughters that wanted to go into war. He tried to convince them not to, but they are strong and they did not listen to him. Aravad went to many temples on his 10-year break from us. He went to talk to, is it Sarenrae? I don't think so. It is Avandra. Avandra went to speak to Avandra, and that went really well, but I wasn't there, so I don't know.
Yeah, it did.
Ruby, did Ruby also go to temples? I think she did, yes, to speak to her gods. I also was not there for that, so I don't know. But for me, I was able to stop some wars, as usual. And I was surprised when my son messaged me or sent me, because I was not expecting it, but it was nice. After the 10-year, we got together again and we were going into battle to fight the car, I believe. All these gods, there are so many gods that it is now a blur. So many battles too. So while we were fighting the car with Aurum, Nero showed up and he struck Aurum down and became the new god of death. We were all enraged by this, but I was the one who recklessly charged in and in my recklessness died. For some reason, Nero gave me my life back, and honestly, I would have rather died. He asked Ruby to be a cleric of him, and Ruby stood up and told him no, but in a great way. Not just no, she really let him have it, and it was great. I loved to see that while I was really upset at Madrian's daughter, Sora, as we did find out that she was taught by Nero. And I believe that is where we ended.
I believe it is. Excuse me, there's yawn number 1. After the fight, what do you all do?
Well, for me, I wanted to learn sending from my friend Madrian. to talk to my son again.
I'd love to teach you. It'll be super fun. I've never had anyone like ask me if I can teach them about spells and stuff. It's usually Kalia's stuff. But
I think you would be a great teacher.
well, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I think most of my daughters grew up all right.
They turned into fine young women.
Yeah. So like the first thing you gotta do with this spell is like you gotta like plant your feet. And you'll get a good firm stance, but not too firm. You'll kind of like, if allowed, like move your feet so they're like at the right stance, like a power move. Or a power
This
stance.
isn't what you usually look like when you send. Are you
Well-
just doing this to make fun of me, or?
Absolutely not. I would never do that. I just think it's gonna look really cool for your first sending.
Okay.
So like, then the next thing is, I guess I should probably let's see what. We're gonna need like a short piece of copper wire, and I'll pull it out of my little components pouch, and I'll hand her.
I grab it, and I'm in my squat stance.
Yep.
And I have one copper wire in one hand.
Now, hold your hands out like this.
How will I hold the copper wire if I hold my?
Loop it around a finger. That's what I do.
Oh.
All right, and then repeat after me.
Repeat after me.
I'm casting a spell that has verbal components, and now you can send your message.
I am casting a spell that has a verbal component, and now I can cast sending.
Now think what you want to send and who you're sending it to.
I'm gonna think. Arrow, are you there?
Signy, make a wisdom check.
Wisdom. That is a 16.
Yes, very good. You see that, or you feel a warmth in your chest as you pull upon your connection to your oath, your vow to protect not just everyone, but also to protect your son. What was the message?
I don't know if you're getting this, but I miss you very much, and I hope that this will end soon so I can see your face.
You sit there for what feels like eternity. Mother, it is good to hear you. I miss you too, but I am well. I am getting strong like you. Maybe you will not recognize me, I hope.
I'm gonna turn to Madrian and I'm gonna say, he spoke to me.
Oh, that's really. I mean, I always knew you could do it. So I should probably tell you. You can say about 25 words,
Oh, really?
and they can respond to it. But proper etiquette is you say who you are. You're like, "Hello, this is Madrian."
Okay.
You can reply to this message.
Okay.
Just in case they didn't know.
Okay. I'm gonna turn back and do my stance.
Does
Hello?
Aravan hear that? Signy, just quick point of order. you don't have to introduce yourself every time. That does
Oh.
take up some of your words.
I'm sorry. Do you know sending?
I do, actually. Well, don't use it very often.
I'm gonna look at Arvad and then keep doing my stance. Hello, Arrow. This is Signy. You can reply to this message. I hope I do recognize you. It has been a long time, and I hope you recognize me too. But I don't know what to say. I want to see you really bad. So bad.
How about I come and fight alongside you?
I'm gonna turn to to Madrian and Arvad. He's saying that he wants to fight. I believe my son is very capable. But how many words do I have? I don't know if I can respond to him.
Go ahead and mark off. You've these are casting 3rd level slots, so go ahead and mark those off.
Each time you send, you have 25 words. It's not a total. So, that is, well, Madrin, your children have recently come to war. How do you feel about this?
Conflicted? I mean, I don't know if I can speak for anyone else, but no parent wants to watch their kids go off to war.
I agree.
I agree, but I believe my son is very capable, and I do not believe that he would put himself in a position that would lead to his demise.
If your son takes after either of his parents, I'm not sure that's an accurate statement. But if he takes after either of his parents, he has a strong heart, and probably a stronger arm.
I'm gonna turn back and do my stance again. I would be honored and I would love for you to fight alongside me, my son. You can reply to this message.
You hear back. Let me know where to find you.
Okay, I will tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or actually, he says, I will find you.
Okay.
Signy. It takes him a little while, but he does find you. And the young man you see before you is the spitting image of your husband, your late husband. In this form, he has long, flowing auburn hair that turns to bright orange at the ends. He has a cape made of leaves that start green and fade to orange as well. Dark leather armor, a green cape about his neck, some component pouches, a short sword at his side. Facial hair. Dark brows. I'm going to post a picture of an inspiration photo that I found in the Discord. And here's a link to it.
Whoa.
Although his ears are long like yours, he stands tall, much taller than you, maybe 7 feet tall. And he finds you in the middle of the night, It's a night that you are all traveling together for some reason or the other. And you don't even hear footsteps approach, but you feel it in your heart. A young man approaches. It's Arrow.
I instantly get up, and I feel like during the time that I've spent with my companions, I've gotten a little softer. But as soon as I see my son, like, I have a huge smile, and I start, like, tears in my eyes, and, like, I just exclaim, Arrow! And then I run over and I...
He will wrap his arms around you and lift you up and spin you around, and you all watch as this ethereal cape kind of swarms or spins around them beautifully, and he sets you back down, Signy. You notice he takes after his father. His smile is not as wide, perhaps, as others would expect, but you know that he is happy.
It is so great to see you, my son. I want to introduce you to some companions of mine, if that's okay.
Please do, Mother. He'll gently like touch the ends of one of your braids and like run his fingers along the owlbear pelt that you have.
I'm gonna grab his hand and then lead him over to Arvad, Madrian, and Ruby. Guess who this is?
Is that Blackberry Tom?
This is my son.
Oh. Well, hello.
His hair is longer than you are, Ruby.
Yeah, not surprised.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
He'll give you.
It is an honor.
The honor is mine. I assure you. I am Ero Emerand. We are well met, I think.
Very.
These people have saved my life more than I can count.
The opposite is true as well.
You would like Madrian's daughters, I think.
This is where you see another smile, and he looks a little embarrassed.
Oh, I'll go find them. I walk off briefly.
Sure. Asara is.
Okay.
Dad.
I'll cross my arms and kind of give her that look like, stay out of trouble.
She has just come back from hunt and drops a deer in the middle of camp. There you go. Oh, shit. I didn't know we were going to have company.
Isn't he
Tara,
dashing?
This is my son, Arrow.
Oh, Arrow, I've heard so much about you. This is, it's nice to meet you, finally. The pleasure is mine.
I give a look to Madrian.
I mouth, we could be related.
Oh my god. The two youngsters will kind of meander off a little bit to the side and have a separate conversation that we're not going to roleplay. I might write that out for y'all for a stolen moment's bless. Let me write that down. Arrow and Asara. Oh, that sounds so sweet. So you have a 5-year break between what you know to be the final battle. Oh, let me get the music back. The final battle of the Dawn War. What do you do to prepare?
I dream a lot. It's my power. I'll try to have some visions about it.
You want to force some visions?
Well, if they don't naturally come to me, I will. But
Okay. You find that, so, Madrid, in this time you find that Sura spends more time with Akalia than she does with you. She spends a lot of time working with her mother. It seems as though her mother has handed off a lot of responsibility to Sura, and she's happy to do it. Asara prefers to fight with you. And Seema stays kind of flitting halfway between each parent. Sura, you notice that the more Sura's visions come, the less yours do. And Sura has been forcing quite a lot of visions. The first 2 times that you try to force a vision, you get the same one. You get the vision of the 2 figures atop a cliff in the Shadowfell. It's changed a little bit. Small details shift, which you know can happen with time. And it starts to feel a lot closer. Maybe not 50 years, but sooner. Maybe less than a decade. Both times you feel the sudden and heartbreaking loss that you can't explain. The next time you force a vision, you see darkness. You see the end of time. The end of the primaterial plane, as the primordials have won the war. The next time you force a vision, you watch Bane get struck down, lost. The next time you force a vision, you see Tiamat fall, her chromatic dragons crying out in anguish. The next time, Sarenrae is struck from the sky. In none of your visions does everyone make it out alive.
I think after all those dreams, I'd stop trying to force any visions, and instead, would talk to my daughter about maybe not forcing too much and the risks. But I'm not gonna tell the rest of the party about the visions.
Okay. Ruby, what do you do to prepare?
So, I know that it is important for us to win, and that it is equally important for us to be able to help rebuild in whatever way we can. So, the journal that I had started in my first break from the group, those 10 years where I was writing notes to myself and making comments about the temples I was visiting and planning out ways to say goodbye to my friends when this was all over. I come up with an idea that I'm going to start writing stories. So at this point, the journal is halfway through, and the stories I'm writing are stories about Sarenrae and notes about how to cure minor illnesses and wounds. And it's very rough draft. There's a lot of scribbles, there's a lot of cross-outs, there's little doodles of herbs and other things in the book. And every night I make sure that I write something down, whether it's a folklore or whatever piece of history that I can record. And at the end of each entry, I write, this will be my legacy. This will be my book. And the hope is that when this is all said and done, I can rewrite it and share it with those that need it.
Make a wisdom check. You have 2 crits and 2 advantages, by the way.
Can I
Yeah.
inspire her?
This is a more of a long-term thing, but you know what? We'll say, why don't you describe to me how you would inspire her long-term, Aravad?
Ruby, do you tell me that you're doing this?
I don't hide that I'm writing, and so you all would see me each night at camp making notes in these journals, and this journal 1, and you would see me crossing things out furiously or making little doodles. So I certainly don't hide it.
What is that you're doing?
I'm writing.
Any
What does
particular?
it look like I'm doing?
Well, you seem to be quite angry at what you're writing.
Oh, no, I'm not angry. Well, I want the right words, and I'm not much of a writer. I like to read, but I don't do a lot of writing, so just trying to make sure that I have the right words for what I want.
Well, it just so happens that picking the right words is something I've done or tried to do for a very long time now. If you would have me, I'd be happy to help.
I would love that.
Excellent. Through this process, I will be very encouraging. Like, if you're like, well, should I write about this? I'll, encourage those things. Every story needs to be told. Every moment needs to be remembered. I will discourage very subtly, including me at all. But through the process, I will, try to help with the right words, try to just in general continue to encourage her not to stop even when it gets frustrating. Because writing is very frustrating a lot of the time.
Yeah, it is. Okay. You know what? I got them. I'm going to use one of my auto crits for this wisdom. Save. Check. Whatever.
Very good. The book starts, the journal starts to come along well. With Aravad's help, you two spend quite a bit of time together working on this. Aravad, how do you prepare for the upcoming battle?
I will go back to my whole goal. Encouraging my allies is paramount. But also, anytime we pass through a town or anytime we link up with a different arm of the army that we are supporting, I will try to go out through them and find the people that get less noticed and talk to them, see about bringing their stories up and celebrating them and just raising the spirits wherever I go. I don't give my name unless I'm directly asked, though.
There is plenty to rebuild. Between the last fight and this upcoming one, it's not as if there is a stalemate or a peace at all. Primordials still attack cities. They still destroy temples. Gods still fight primordials. There are still battles to be fought.
Oh,
Go ahead.
the other thing I'll do is, as we encounter different groups, and it's clearly we're leaving them, while I'm with them, I'll always be spending time, and I assume I'll have to go find a lot of diamonds, but I'll be spending time inscribing various things, and pretty much on any gear or anything people will lend me that I can then give to them, I will give them a what's the spell called? Where is it?
Is it the fire one?
No, it's not on my spell list somehow. Create rune. Like I can make
Sure.
yeah, and but with that I can infuse a spell, and I will infuse protection from evil and good.
You mean warding glyph of warding?
Yes, which is gone from my spell list somehow.
It's fine. I'm not worried about
But
it.
I'll use glyph of warding to infuse protection from evil and good, specifically against elementals, into as many pieces of gear as I can.
Easy enough. Stories get back to you later about how that was the thing that kept people from dying. That was what kept them alive in their upcoming battles against the stone elemental that came to destroy their town, or the water elemental that threatened to wash their lives away. Okay. You all find yourselves. What do you all do during your 5 years? Where would you like to go? Where would you like this part of the story to be?
Assuming my companions stay together, I'd like to stay with them this time.
Okay. I'm gonna do that as well.
You find yourselves gaining notoriety. Do you have a name that you give?
I think we all settled on Dawnbringers, right?
I don't know if Aravad settled, but yeah.
I'll go with it. Once I see that it's started to catch on among people, I'll give away the notion that I need to come up with something better and just talk about the 7 members of the Dawnbringers.
You
The
find
3 of you, and then your children.
You find that Arrow and Asara go off and do their own thing for a little while. Mandarin and Insignia, you would guess that they have become involved. Although both are doing their best to remain detached.
I think we've totally started talking wedding plans.
I do no ceremony.
I mean, is it rude to ask a god to like be a guest at a wedding?
Who are you trying to invite?
I mean, like we're good friends with Saren Ray, right?
Ruby?
Like,
Ruby is.
Ruby, you actually, and this time you get invited to a wedding. Leonis and Amy. Officiated by Saren Ray herself.
Hey. When I get invited, I reply with, "Can I have 3 guests?"
Oh, yes.
Then I definitely would have, with the response, run up to my friends and gone, "So, I have some good news.
Yes?
My mentor, Amy, is getting married, and you all are coming with me."
We are.
Great news.
what are we bringing for a gift?
I hadn't thought that far.
I think I have another dagger.
Maybe. We'll have to think on that one. But yes, one joyous event is always good out of all this chaos, right?
Of course.
It is an absolutely beautiful ceremony. that you are all invited to attend. Amy and Leona stand atop a sunlit cliff, bright and early in the morning, as the sun rises behind them. Or is that just Sarenrae? She shines brighter than anything you've ever seen, the Everlight. Her hair, wild like flame, flows behind her in an ever-present shifting wind. Massive white wings protrude from her shoulder blades. Out! They look like they can touch both sides of the horizon. They're so long. And the entire wedding is blessed by her presence, her warmth, her light, her grace. As Leonis and Amy are pronounced man and wife. You've never seen two people who are happier or more in love. Except for maybe Madrian. After it's over, Sarenrae blows out a kiss. And you all feel her warmth across your chests, along your faces. Especially you, Ruby. You feel a pair of ethereal wings and arms wrap around you in a very tight, warm embrace before they let you go. After the wedding is over, it's back to business. There's more fighting, more rebuilding, more work, always more work. You do, however, meet someone important. You meet the World Healer, a primal spirit, a force who is bent on mending the world from the effects of the Dawn War. You find this spirit, this being that has no real form or figure, just a voice in your ears. As you approach a small town, once again the small town of Asmarin, basically a village. They are working on rebuilding and helping to fortify this area against further attacks, making it a larger keep, a larger castle, using the stone from the earth to kind of build a castle. One of the first of its kind. But when you come across this spirit, you gather its attention. Aravad, you would probably be the first to notice it. This feeling of healing.
Something ancient is on its way to us.
You all feel a chill roll down your spines.
Is it an enemy?
No. Well, not to us.
The wind rolls in, and though you cannot see it, you sense that it is in your presence, in your camp, with you. Are you the ones they call the Dawnbringers?
That is them, yes.
You're definitely part of the night.
It's debatable.
You have a mighty decision ahead of you. The gods grow weary, the primordials too. But more than that, mortality is suffering. This war of the dawn cannot go on forever. And when it is over, it cannot happen again.
What is it that you're offering?
The All Spirit. The primal spirit that connects all living beings in the world to us, the primal spirits, is going to introduce the primal ban. We will dispel the gods and the primordials from the prime material plane for all of eternity. But we cannot do it alone. We need sign off, wow. We need aid from gods and mortals alike.
This ban will prevent the elementals from returning and the gods?
The primordials, yes. And the gods. It will keep the primordials and the gods from interfering in the lives of mortals with whom they fight for.
I know there are a few among us who gods have been redemptive, rejuvenating forces in their lives. They're just going to be removed.
They will still have influence from the astral sea.
I see.
You do not approve of the plan.
It's not that I don't approve, well, it's definitely a way to end. What do you all think?
Well, I know that you mentioned some of the gods might be on board. Are any of the primordials on board with this?
No.
Are they even aware?
No. It is the primordials' wish that everything be destroyed. The ban would represent a loss. We would call it the Divine Gate. The other spirits have already started gathering resources, gathering allies.
You said you will have a decision that you need some sort of help from us. What do you need?
It is a ritual that needs, what's the word? Not sacrifice. Aid. Contributions from high-level spellcasters like yourselves. You have all determined the fate of the world. Your contributions would help seal away these powers for good. To keep the gods from interfering in the free will of mortals.
What would we need to do, or to help?
And when?
After the final battle.
Signy, Ruby, you two have been notably quiet.
Hey. On the one hand, I can see why this would be necessary. On the other, I know what it means. It's a very troubling thought.
You would still have your powers and your connection to the Everlight.
Yes, but it certainly would not be what it is now.
No, it would not.
I hold my little journal close to me. I will do what is necessary. If it means that the mortal race will survive and the primordials will finally be defeated.
Can we count on you, Dawnbringers?
I can't speak for anyone else, but I'm in. Seems the way the war's going, the only way it's going to end up is everyone and everything dead.
That has been your vision of late?
Well, I've seen Tiamat, Saren Ray, everything die. You know, I mean, everything.
Why did you not tell us this?
You saw them die, not just...
I mean, I don't really have my powers anymore. At first, I thought it was just me getting a lucky break, but I guess I don't have it in me anymore. So at first, I thought maybe my visions were wrong. Maybe they weren't visions. I mean, I've been wrong about a lot of things in my life.
Well, Madrian, do you remember the first vision that you had? The one where you saw us crushed between stone and it did not come to pass.
Yeah.
Maybe the gods dying are a result of what happens if we do not participate in this ritual. Maybe that this ban has to happen for them to live.
It sounds like a solid idea to me. Like I said, I'm in.
I am as well.
And I.
And I.
The wind picks up gently at first, and then whipping around each of one of you, the leaves and dirt fluttering about within it. You all have 20 temporary hit points as the world healer gives you its blessing. These temporary hit points last until you use them. And you feel its presence depart.
I imagine those with connections to deities or greater celestials should probably reach out to them now.
Arvad, would you like to start?
suppose.
Who would you like to contact?
Aravad will kneel down and doesn't really do anything in particular. Sort of puts his hands one over the other. And as he breathes deeply, you see these red lines just sort of come up through his clothes on his back. And they sort of form, they don't form wings, but they form like ephemeral wings. Just very, it's like they're there, but they're not.
Sorry, can you say that last part again?
They form like sort of ephemeral wings, but not really. Like obviously they're not there, but there's sort of like an illusion of wings behind me. I call on my ancestor. Tavlanio, make yourself known, please.
Make a wisdom check.
Ouch.
You have a crit and 2 advantages.
I'm going to use an advantage because I don't think a 6 is going to be very good. Here. 17, though, I think, hopefully. Is this a save or a check?
Check.
Okay, oh, so that's the same. So 17.
Okay. From the sky itself, a form emerges. Like a falling star from the heavens. Cascades down, and it looks as though if it will pummel into the earth, creating a massive crater, knocking you all back. But however, this being lands gently, slowly, the last few feet. Tavlaniel is an angel, that's for sure. However, there's something quite different about this angel that you will notice. It is dressed in white robes, massive muscles, a red sash around his waist, long red hair, incredible white wings spread and then close in behind him. He wields a greatsword that is easily twice the length of either of you, and he stands 10, maybe 12 feet tall. Upon his head is a helm with a ruby set in the very center. He is the epitome of regalness. He encapsulates humanity and kingship at the same time.
I've mentioned to you all a few times that, while different than Madrian, long ago, celestial and immortal bloodline intermingled. And that is where some of my ability comes from. This is the celestial. Tavlaniel. These are my companions.
It gives a very, I don't want to say stiff, but very well-postured nod to each of you. One hand behind its back, one hand in front as it stands.
This is also why my service to Osiren has never been called faith or true worship. It's a family thing. It's good to see you. I look back towards him.
He stands there quietly. You know, he's not one who is much for words.
The war is raging. We're doing well, but we have good reason through my friend back here, I'll point towards Madrian, to believe that even if we are successful in the coming conflict, that it won't be enough. The primordials will resurge, and they will not only attack the material plane, but they'll just attack the gods themselves. The end of everything. The primal spirits of this plane have come to us just a few moments ago. They want to use their power to enact a ban on pretty much all outsider beings. Gods and the upper celestials will still be able to bestow upon followers and communicate, but to my understanding, walking amongst their followers will no longer be something they can do, or at least easily do. This will also prevent the primordials from returning. We have agreed to help, but this decision affects a great deal many more than just us.
I understand. I will warn the others.
Thank you.
Thank you. Osiren's blessing upon you all.
And his love with you.
Always.
And I'll bow again.
He'll return your bow. And then you watch as he shifts slightly, takes one knee, and then uses it to launch himself back up right into the air and disappear in the reverse order that he arrived in, like a comet leaving the earth.
That is my great-grandfather, I believe. Something to that effect. I don't know the specifics. I didn't really want to.
You should be proud of who you are.
Being proud of who I am got a lot of people killed. I'm proud of who you are.
How does it look like Arvad's feeling right now?
Distant.
I'm gonna offer him a hug.
He doesn't really even notice you coming near him. He doesn't stop you either.
Give him a really tight one of those hugs. It's like a prolonged hug. Oh. No whisper. I know it's not easy to ask for help, but I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of
And
you
then
too,
I'll
my friend.
let him go. So, who are we calling next? I don't really have a god.
I would like to commune with someone, but I'd rather do it alone.
I understand.
Would you like to wander off and find your... Okay.
Yeah. So I'll wander off into where I find a nice clearing, if there is one. And like I did a couple years back, I will sit on the ground and unsheath my moonblade and set it on my knees. Coralon, I have tried to call you countless times. I've reached out to you and heard nothing. You sent someone else in your place and did not even bother to reach out to me, and I am one of your chosen. I have asked if Arvindor is real, and you have not answered. So, if you will not answer, I will use my power to make sure if anyone calls that there will be an answer. And that starts with repairing a rift. And that's all I will say.
Make a wisdom check, please.
I think I have an auto crit,
You have 2 auto crits.
so I'm just gonna use one.
Very good. Signy, you sit there in silence, surrounded by soft grass, firm trees. The wind still kind of pulls at you. You close your eyes for just a moment until you notice a bright light, which causes you to open them again. When you open them, you must be still in the same place. You haven't moved. However, something has changed. And by something, I mean everything. The grass is bright purple. The trees are thinner, but they span hundreds and hundreds of feet into the air, and you can hear the sounds of birds that you've not heard since before this war started. Sounds of creatures you recognize an ever-present dusk in the distance. This feels like home. The breeze comes and pulls at your hair, tickles your ear. What rift do you speak of, my dear Signy?
I speak of the rift between you and Loth.
The betrayer. She who would kill me where I stand.
She would kill you because you would not listen.
I do not need to listen. I created her. Created all of you.
So a creator does not listen to his subjects. You would just rule willingly, not willingly, but forcefully, without hearing what your subjects say and the problems that they have.
I hear you, but I do not bow.
I am not asking you to bow.
You demand my presence, you demand my answers, you demand knowledge. You demand special treatment.
As a ruler, I would ask you to listen. And it seems that you do not.
I see no need.
And that is the problem. That is the problem.
The rift between Loth and I cannot be repaired. She will never acknowledge her wrongdoings.
I have met many gods that thought that things could not be repaired. But they listened to a halfling who made them a compromise, and they listened to her. So why do you think that Loth would not listen to reason, to a compromise? It is because you are thick-headed. You only listen to yourself, and you only do what is right for you and not anybody else.
She was my wife. You cannot
Then
imagine.
you should have listened to her.
You cannot imagine the pain of her betrayal.
And you cannot imagine the pain that I felt when my husband sacrificed his life for yours. I lost him for you, and you don't even care.
Losing your husband was a great, great loss. I regret it every day. Every day. But he is in paradise. I see you doubt Arvindor's existence. Yet look where you stand now. You hear a crackling of brush in the distance. Just ahead.
What is it?
No, it was not your husband's soul that I put into that sword, because that would mean his eternal spirit would not be with me. Instead, he is here in Arvindor, waiting for you, the chosen one. And you see him step out into the clearing that you are in. And that, my friends, is where we are going to take a quick break. Welcome back. This is the 7th session of The First Dawn, which follows the tale of 4 adventurers as they journey to complete a quest.
3 adventurers and a bard.
Oh my god. Last we left off, Signy was just transported to Arvindor and is being visited by her husband, Asmund. What does Signy look like right now?
Usually how she looks when they move into like other planes. Her eyes are brighter, tattoos are glowing, you know, her hair seems a bit longer, but she's very what's the word?
Radiant?
I guess radiant is a word, yeah.
But what does she look like as far as her emotions go?
Almost speechless. I mean, she's speechless, yeah. Angry. But that's my secret cap. No, I mean she's angry, but also like seeing Asmund there's a lot of emotions going on. There's so many. And he looks like...
The day you last saw him.
Does he say anything at all? He's just standing there?
He hesitantly walks towards you. Arms outstretched.
I don't go for a hug.
After a certain point, he'll stop. And wait. Signy. What is the matter?
Are you satisfied for what you did? The sacrifice that you made?
That depends.
On what?
On you and Arrow. You are both alive. And it looks like Arrow is living a full, happy life. And you, one filled with purpose. So yes, I am.
I believe that if there was not a rift, that your life wouldn't be taken. I believe that you would have been here with us, with me, with your son. And to help us with this task. But instead, you are here.
For a short time, yes, till I am reborn.
A short time isn't now.
No.
When we need you. When I need you.
Signy, my love, you do not need me. You never did. You are the light in the dark. You are the champion of your people. You are their hope for a better future for all of Elvenkind. All of their lives rest on your shoulders right now. All of their hopes in your heart. You do not need me. I need you.
Then it is my duty to ensure that our people get what they deserve. A better life. And one without conflict. And I will look to Coraline. And if our gods are too stubborn to resolve this conflict themselves, and then I'll look back to my husband, then I will do it myself. By any means.
And you will always have me at your back. I made a vow to you once. That vow did not preclude me from it, simply by nature of dying. As long as my soul still lives, it is yours to command, my queen. You feel the wind pull at your cape, your hair, and the colors begin to grow dimmer around you as you are being sent back to the primaterial plane, where you are still standing.
I mean, I'm just taking everything in right now. And I was focused on the end of this war, but now my focus is beyond that. And I will head back to my companions quietly.
First on, what'd you like to do?
Amy,
Ruby?
are you okay?
Oh, go ahead.
I've never been better.
I'm glad. Your space is your space. But know that whatever you need, you have 3 allies here.
Thank you.
Ruby, I believe that leaves you.
I guess it does, doesn't it? Okay. Before I call Sarenrae, I do take out a piece of parchment from my pack, and I scribble a letter to Amy to save for later. And the letter says essentially that I am writing a book that I feel now more than ever, given what will be coming in the near future, will be important for followers of Sarenrae. And that should I not make it through this war, that I'm counting on her to make sure it is finished. And then I put the letter in my pack. And I kneel on the ground.
Is this in front of everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I kneel down on the ground and close my eyes, and I conjure the image of Sarenrae and how she was on the day of Amy and Leonis's wedding, her radiant beauty out for all to see. And I wait.
Make a wisdom check. You have 2 advantages and an autocrit.
Yeah, I'm going to use an advantage. Oh, that's much better. That's going to be an 18.
Oh, yeah. Why do y'all even roll anymore? The chat just gives you everything you want.
Well,
Now, once again, you find yourselves being graced by a presence that is much larger than your own. A presence that is overwhelming, startling, eye-watering beauty. She appears behind you, Ruby. Soft entrance, Ruby. My love.
I'll stand up and turn to face her.
What is it?
Serenity.
What is it that I may do for you?
The primal spirits have come up with a plan
Yes.
that will,
I am aware.
you know.
I am.
Silly of me, of course you know.
You called me here to warn me.
More to say, I will miss you.
I will never be far from you, Ruby. I am
No, but
in your heart. And one day, when it is your time, you will be with me for all of eternity. Your soul with mine.
still, I never would have forgiven myself if I didn't at least. If I didn't at least say that. I know it won't be the same. And I know you'll still be with me, but. Well. I guess there's nothing eloquent that I need to say, I just wanted this opportunity before it was too late.
I will miss you too, Ruby. Dearly.
And I will just bow.
She will place a kiss on your forehead. You have served me so faithfully. You have done everything I have asked you. I have something I must give you in return. From now on, I will give you the ability to channel my divinity. Directly from me, you can use my energy to fuel your own powers. The first of which I will give you is the ability to turn undead, for they are an abomination, a scar on this earth. The stronger you are, the more you can destroy them. For you in particular, I will give you the ability to preserve life. To heal people. Your friends. She will look at each one of you. I think you will need it in the battle to come. Ruby, I am always with you. And until the primal band goes up, I'm only a call away. You should know that I have also volunteered to aid the ritual. It will have the strength of me and all of mine behind it. But I am proud of you, Ruby. So very proud.
My cheeks are turning pink.
She will back away slowly. One more thing. I leave with you a faithful companion, Charleboux. Come. You see from the trees behind you a hound. Massive. Running towards you. Looks like it is made of gold. It plots up next to Sarenrae, gives you a low bow, and then goes to sit next to you.
How big is this hound? Like, is it one of the small hounds, or am I have to look up at this thing?
You have to look up at this thing. You could easily use this as a mount.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, Dawnflower. Thank you. I'm gonna reach out and touch it.
Yeah. I will send you a reference link, Dax.
Thank you. I want to boop its nose too.
It is golden colored. Not any breed that we would recognize, but it just looks like a regular, large, sort of, almost like a German Shepherdish type, but made of gold.
Oh.
It has massively intelligent eyes. And it nuzzles you. I
I will
leave.
do my best to take care of it.
I leave you to it. Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Ruby.
Goodbye, Dawnflower.
She disappears.
I'm gonna turn back to the group. Why do we feed it?
Well, hopefully it likes primordial.
I hope so too.
Charlie, this is Signy and Aravat and Metrian.
I will walk up to the pupper and extend the back of my hand to its snoot.
It just gives you a nuzzle, kind of like, very happy to see you.
And
It's
then
it's a very cuddly, friendly dog.
And then I will pet the shit out of it.
It is quite happy for the attention. It's definitely a boy dog. He is quite happy. All right. What do y'all want to do?
The only thing I would say that I have left is that once we got the chance, I would actually mail that letter. But otherwise,
Definitely.
I am good.
Okay.
I mean, I can take first watch.
I don't know about you all, but I am not tired.
As the battle comes closer and closer, is there any special requests that you have for this upcoming fight? Anything that your characters like to find?
Ooh, I think I'd like to send that woman I saved like 6 years ago.
Oh,
That I sent home to go be with her fiance.
Mrs. Kentigern.
So I guess in our travels, I'll just send her randomly
Sure.
one day. On a day that's my designated burn all my level 3 slots.
Sure.
So I'll send her. Hello, it's me. It's been a while. Oh, this is Madrian. Uh, just checking to make sure things are all right. Glad I saved you back then. How are you doing? Can reply.
I'm well, thank you. I'm married now. Kept my name, though. Thank you for checking in on me. And for saving me. You're muted?
I'll waste a second slot and I'll reply. That's wonderful to hear. I'm honestly so glad to have allowed you to have that happiness. It's hard some days to look on the bright side and to cherish the little things. That's it. Yeah,
Yeah. She doesn't reply.
yeah,
But
that's perfectly fine.
You feel like your message has been heard.
Yeah. Then I'll spend the last one. I'll send the call. I know she can't reply because she's dead, but it's more of like me
She's
talking
not
to
dead!
myself.
Stop!
Wait, like call the one that got crushed?
Oh, Lacal. I heard Acalia.
Oh no, Lacal.
Sure, you can send Lacal if you want.
Yeah. Hey there. I don't know why I'm doing this. Maybe it's so someone or something can listen. I'm not very good at praying. I'm trying to do the right thing and do what you would have done if you were still here. I'm honestly not sure if the primal ban is the right choice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't save you. I mean, I'm sorry for a lot of things I've done. I'm sorry for being a bit of a screw up. Maybe it's like Orem said, and maybe I don't have visions anymore because I'm getting old, or maybe I've used them all. Maybe I just need to let things go and accept that maybe I can do what I've done, what I can, and I've got not much to give. That I have to let others carry the torch. It's just hard, you know? I've always chased these dreams and visions. You know, like, it's difficult to lose sight of who I am or who I was, but I guess it's about growing up. Is the Madrian I'll be tomorrow isn't the Madrian I am right now. I guess it's all right. But I'm worried for the future. I'm worried for Ruby, Signy, Arvad. I'm worried for my family. I've sacrificed far too much to keep them safe, to keep myself safe. And I don't know if I'm allowed to sacrifice anything else. Well, I should get back to finding mushrooms for dinner. Before people start asking questions, we'll try to do what's right. If I can. Oh. And then I'll go get some mushrooms.
All right, friends, you will have the week to conclude any IMRPs that you have that we will post. This is where we're going to end a little early today in preparation for next week, where you will fight the last battle of the Dawn War. Oh, I'm sorry. Arvad had something. Sorry.
It's fine. As the weeks go by and the preparation happens, Arvad has a spark of memory. Madrian, do you recall those gargoyles?
Yeah, I remember.
It's been 15, 16 years now. Yeah, you found your shield. We found my sword was shattered. I took some materials that day, and down the road a bit, I gave them to a crafter. I wonder. I haven't heard from them in quite some time. I think it's finished by now. I had some particular specifications. Would you all want to come with me to get it? I feel it will be beneficial.
Yeah, I don't want to go with you. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? More gargoyles come at us? It's silly.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I think it's high time I replaced my sword, though.
Yeah, you've got me and my bow.
I will begin to lead the group towards wherever this town is.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, Mindy. You head back to the very small town of White Tree. White Tree. Where you left many prized and beautiful materials to a very fine crafter. A young crafter at the time. When you return, you find that his shop has grown threefold. It's no longer the small hovel it once was, but it's a real, actual... That's a great face for Jordan to freeze on. A real and actual, realized shop. I don't know if Jordan can hear me. There he goes.
I can hear you.
You were
I'm
frozen.
back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. That was weird, guys. Sorry.
No worries. And you see in the far back is something on the wall. Would you describe it for me?
Sure. Let me pull up the thing I had about it. It is a bluish silver scepter, about 3.5 feet long in total. Hang on, I'm trying to find my thing. Because, of course, I wasn't ready for this. So, it is, like I said, along the shaft of it, there is very intricate scroll work that seems to start at the top and work its way down towards the bottom. At the top, there are some spiral extensions that serve as a mounting point for a very large sapphire. The sapphire seems to kind of always have a slight flame glowing on the inside. And this setting spiral down across the adornment down into the bottom, where there is it comes out, and it comes out like two wings meeting into a singular point with sort of an empty triangular space in between them.
Ah, you've returned. I've been waiting for you. Business has been booming.
I can see. I've been quite busy.
It took me some time. I'm glad you did not come back for many years. It took me nearly a decade to craft my masterpiece. But here it is, ready for you. You who believed in me when no one else did. You who told me I would be a great crafter one day. And here I am.
I will pull out a large, just sack of gems and gold and just set it on the table.
You honor me. He reaches behind him and pulls the scepter off, gently hands it to you.
This is magnificent. This is more beautiful than anything I imagined. I told you on the first day we met, your creativity matches your conviction.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As you have this scepter of power, that is where we will call today's session.